Hello, it is Lord where I'm streaming some 2D Forex today. Today's Sunday, I think, and I usually stream this on weekends. This is a post-apocalyptic open source game that I'm learning how to develop in Godot down here. We're on 4.4 stable .net, which is the C# version, and I'm trying to get my, okay, all right, we get it, my chat thing to work here. Oh my God, I clicked too soon. I've been waiting so patiently lately, and then I didn't wait as patiently as I should have today. So anyways, what were we working on? Yesterday we were working on a bunch of stuff, and then I noticed that we had like the same, I'd written this method that was very similar in a bunch of different places. There was not a bunch, there was a couple of different places. God damn this thing. There's one right here. Let's activate this source. There we go. And then we'll just hope that that works. I guess I should test it. I've noticed, though, if I type test in here, it causes issues later. But we'll do it anyways. And then we'll go back over here. I guess it's working. There we go. Yesterday I noticed that there was some of these. I'm just going to leave this here. It's on the list. We have just a couple of things to do before we push to main and export the new version. So all we've been working on is this. Well, let's run this. We're gonna get these 32 errors that I'm pretty sure is just a Godot bug that they need to fix. So someone gave me a suggestion yesterday or the day before or something where we break out each dictionary into its own file, which is absolutely crazy to have to do that. But we can test one out that way and see what happens. But I think this is a Godot bug, and so I just need to wait and see if there's, that's one of the like, I like Godot a lot, but one of the problems is that it is open source, and there are limits to open source. What I mean is that it does wait for the community to fix problems, and if the problem doesn't affect many people, it doesn't get fixed. I did have 2 crashes yesterday of it, and I usually don't have crashes. I don't know. I'm just yammering on here. So let's stay on task. So what we're going to do is not this. We're going to make sure the heroes can't take equipment from enemy counties. And so that's going to be an easy test. It is not going to be an easy test because we can't interact with a hero. So we have these guys. These are heroes, and currently, if we click like newest equipment here, it's going to pick the newest equipment. I know canned good is not a resource reconnaissance equipment, but we're just using that as a test. And so this works, but to test it, this next thing, we would need to spawn this guy and then move him up here and see if he actually takes equipment from here, but we aren't going to be able to test that because he already has the equipment. So we can't get there by 4 a.m. I don't think. Let's see if we can. I don't think we can because that was 7 and it took that long for him to get there. They move so slow on the map because I actually went with Google Maps to see how long it would take to get from one place to another. So let's try this again. Let's see. So it says none because it hasn't done it. At 4 a.m. it does its initial test to look for stuff. So what we want to do is spawn this person, move them up here. Let's see. But now we can't look at this person. So that's the first thing we need to fix, I guess, is the ability for the player to look at their hero, who's Ann Bell. So Ann Bell, we need to be able to look at Ann Bell when they're in a different county, and we need to be able to adjust certain things. Right now, we'll just set it on, well, first things first, we'll make it so we can look at them. So how are we doing this currently? Whoops. I haven't worked on this particular part in a while. Maybe we didn't. No, we did do the activities and stuff. So that is going to be under our county info panel generates all this stuff. So let's start there and see what we got. So on visibility change, it counts the idle workers and it updates the top bar. This is commented out for some reason, but it seems to be working, so I'll just delete that. I do that a lot. So when is this update everything running? This update everything needs to be looked at. Okay. When is it running? Generate heroes list. Huh, I wonder why I took everything out of on visibility change. There must be another signal in here that does something that I can't remember. Let's see what these signals are. No, we just have on visibility change. So maybe inside count idle workers. Nope. If visibility equals true, so what triggers this part? Maybe clicking? I remember I came from Unity, and Unity has like a similar on visibility change thing, and I really liked it on there, but it doesn't work the same as on Godot. Is different, and so it throws off. I think it happens too fast or something like that, which is why a lot of these, why I used to use this a lot, then I changed how it works, but I don't remember what is causing county data, update everything. No. County improvement, hero panel container. Player controls. So this is when you click. So a left click causes this update everything to happen. I wonder why this isn't in visibility change. What happens if we change it? This is a bad idea. Whenever I fuck with my old code, like where I'm not doing a full rewrite like of the old code, whenever I fuck with it, just a little bit, it breaks everything. Like everything implodes. But I'm just curious why this isn't here. So we'll comment that out. Yeah, we don't need this. We'll just run this like this and see what happens. We can put it back really easily, so it's probably going to get a ton of errors. Because it seems like it shouldn't be controlled by the click. It should be controlled by when that thing becomes visible. But maybe it happens too fast or something. So it would happen when we click right here. Okay, I see why. So the reason why it's not happening when the visibility change, but on click, because it needs to, I'll put a note in here just in case I have the same question in the future. Player controls, we need this back here. These things need to be here on click because you might be clicking through different counties and the county info panel would be open the whole time. All right, so that's why that's there. You might notice like a seemingly insane amount of notes, but it's all for what just happened there, and my memory is so terrible. And I whined about my memory yesterday, like the whole stream. So I'm going to try not to do that today. I did start my stream a little late, which I'm usually like very on time. And I saw that I was running late, and I was like, fuck. And it starts upsetting me. I'm getting rid of, I don't think we need this right now. Actually, we'll leave it there. So back to what we were testing, though. So when you click, it looks like it goes through, and it does all this stuff. It updates everything. So we got to go to update everything. And then we got to see what it does. It's checking for ownership. What does this do? Oh, and it's disabling certain buttons. Resource button, county improvement button, population button. So this is fine currently, though we're going to probably have to change some stuff. So how I've been developing this game is, since I'm just learning as I go, is I do each little part till at the bare minimum, and then I go back around. And, you know, when I've gone through the whole game, which we've done like one loop so far, now we're on like the second loop of going through each feature in the game and improving it. And then when we're done with the second loop, we go back through and we improve everything. We keep going, because I don't know that I need stuff, and I don't know that I'm how to do stuff. And so as I go back through again, I've learned new things, and I change those things and update the code and stuff. So lots of this code will be all of this code probably will be rewritten at some point. But I'm also, as I'm going through the second time, trying to plan out farther in the future, so that I'm not running into things that cause like major changes and rewrites to the whole game. Though that's still gonna happen. Anyways, we got to go to. We don't need this. We do need this though. So update everything. County info panel. Come back up to generate heroes is actually what we're gonna be doing. So is this disabled, or is this? Oh, we redid it. Oh no, it's broken because of the change I made. That test I did. I hope I saved everything. We can just. I don't know if this is. I don't think this is disabled. I think maybe the button part of it is disabled, but this panel part is not. Let's move you to here, because it will be just for fun. I guess I didn't click. I wonder if we can click on this. No, so this should probably also always be clickable. I think there was a reason why, though. I had that so you couldn't click it. I don't remember. But this is who you have selected, because it was very confusing. Like if you're clicked over here, it's easy to forget who you have selected, or not. No. So Sean Turner, we probably should make it so you can click on Sean Turner up here, and it would open their description panel. I bet you it's like it was pulling information weird or whatever. But this doesn't look this doesn't look disabled. It looks like we just have something turned off. So we need to figure out where that is and adjust it. You should always be able to look at your own heroes. So check for ownership, update name labels. Faction name label. Okay, it's talking about this one, these ones up here. I was thinking these weren't name that good, but it's good enough. County, update county available resources. I know what that is. Update the population label. Is this thing actually a population? This is a button. It's not a label. Update visitors population label, which is this one. Okay, so we can click on here. Oh, we can look at them this way. Well, that's strange. Huh. I don't remember it working this way at all, but I do remember going to make this visitors thing. So that is useful. So we can look at this, and we can't look at their resources, but we wouldn't be able to get we are taking it out of there. So that test, we are going to have to adjust that. But I think we need to make it so you can click on this. So that's the visitors. Update idle workers. So that's just, these all say label, but because they used to be labels, we should rename all those things to, whatchamacallit, buttons, because they're wrong. And this order should also be, this is dumb too. Okay. Like these notes to myself. So where are we updating? Generate hero panel list. So then we clear. We're going to generate the heroes in the county. We're going to generate the armies in the county. We're going to do visiting heroes and visiting armies. So let's go to, I mean, they're all the same. So we need to have this somehow. We're adding the child. We assign the population data for each hero. Then we do this update hero info. So these are just for these little symbols over here, these icons, and it puts their name in. Yeah, so that's just for the little icons there. So then what's next on this hero? Then we change it to the faction color. Populate activity H boxes. Okay, so this hero list button, spawn button. So this is check if player faction, or this is where we're location county data get count. Okay, so here's the, what does this see? Check to see if the hero is part of the player's faction, determine what to show. Once we have the ability for heroes to do things in enemy, we will change this. Currently we're just making it so that the hero activity boxes are hidden. But we're also disabling something else. Hero list button. What is that? Do I have this thing open somewhere? Doesn't look like it. I used to call these prefabs because I'm from Unity originally. So everything else is in the scenes except for this one prefab. And I think I moved it once and it broke everything. So we've been leaving it here. Oh, it is called hero token. We need to change this to 2D. And it's invisible because it's turned off. This is hero token though. It's not hero, wait. Hero list button. Hero prefab. I was thinking it was the hero prefab, but what is this? Hero list prefab. What the fuck is that? What is this under? This is under, why does it say I changed something? Oh, because I turned this on and off. Let's look with the hero list prefab. But we're calling it hero list checkbox panel container. That's its real name. And I have it called hero list prefab there. So this is in the right spot, which is under UI scenes. Here we go. Or it's not. Where the fuck is this thing? UI scenes. Oh, right. We have UI scenes and we have other scenes, which this is also a mistake, I think. It's too hard to find this crap. All right, so this is what we're looking for here. And then we instantiate that So this is the check if the player faction, the location of this thing is false. I'm curious. I think check if player faction. So we're checking if this population is the player faction. I bet you I put this in here. This is with this note right here. We're just disabling this thing. And I think that we need to break this into two spots, two things. I want to be able to still click on that. It probably had unintended consequences, and like where you couldn't click on the actual thing. And I didn't think about that, and it didn't in the testing over there. You know, the testing when I did that part originally. Yeah, so this is what we want this turned off, but then we want this to work, but this to be different. We want this to be disabled too. Okay, because we can't unspawn them. When they only can unspawn in their own thing. So basically this is just the wrong stuff. So if it's our hero, we should be able to we needed to disable something else. So okay, so I wonder why this continue is in here. It goes to the next loop. I think that's what that means. It goes to the next loop, but wouldn't returning do the same thing? I always do this every time with fucking break, return, continue. I gotta look up switches all the time. One day it will set into my brain. So these we want off. So these we need another thing here. I'm just gonna write what we can ask ChatGPT to do this. So if it's location, except I think that continue is going to fuck shit up, but we'll see here. So this we want off. This we definitely want off. Spawn hero button. We don't want to hide it. We just want to disable it. So we can do this. I don't know what I copied something weird. Yeah. Here, we'll just take the whole line. And we want to disable this. And then, do we have anywhere where we enable? Oh, look at this thing. Well, no, that's fine. We want to enable this at the beginning. And I think we have... No. This is dumb, too. You know, we got... I'm getting... I don't know. I'm demoralizing myself. Check for available activities. I think we got to put this up here just so that it falls. This needs to be up here because now we're fucking with this, the spawn hero button. This needs to be up here. I feel like we already do this though somewhere. Like, what does this thing do? I guess we don't. Where'd that thing go? That was mid, here it is. This needs to be up here because we are fucking with the spawn hero button below. All right, so then down here, where are we at? Down here, we want this one to be disabled, but viewed so you can see that it's, and then this will be hidden. And I'm still not hero list button. That's throwing me off why that's named that. Hero list button. No, I don't want to change it. I want to see what it is. Hero list button. So I think what this is, you know, yesterday when we were messing with this, I said it was weird that you had to click on this specific spot. I think this is a button. I don't know why it's called that. Hero or buttons. I think this is supposed to be expanded. So anyways, yesterday when I was fucking with this, I said, like, it's weird how you have to click on a specific spot. So like this doesn't work, but up here it does work. And so I think that's what that is. It is. So look, as I go over, I was clicking, I'm clicking, I'm clicking, I'm clicking, you know, and so it's just, yep. So this actually was broken. So we needed to expand this. We want this hero list button actually to be a container. So in this H box, it's expanding to this button, because this button, but then this button, I bet you, is small. Yep, it is. So this is strange. What we need to do is have this spawn check button on top so that you don't click through it. And this thing needs to expand. Whereas this just goes to here. So we need to make this container get bigger. Shrink to beginning. And then we need this. So that works kind of. So it worked more when this was one little line. This used to just be one little line. But this is kind of dumb if you couldn't click on this, but you can click on that. So what we need to do instead, I hate messing with this stuff, this UI stuff that's already was working, because now we're gonna spend 6 hours fucking with this one box. What we need to do is actually have, this shouldn't be an H box. This should be just sitting on top of it, and we'll adjust the click part, like what it clicks through. So if I move this to here, what happens? It does what I want it to do. And then if we move that to there, that also does what I want it to do. And then we just turn off this H box for now. We'll probably delete it. Hopefully we don't have a reason that there's... hopefully there's nothing linked to that thing. What is it? What did I just call it? Buttons H box? I don't see anything there. All right, so now we got to test this. The clickability is basically what we're testing. Yeah, I noticed that yesterday, and I was like, huh, I guess I just did that on purpose. But no, it looks like it was not on purpose. So, but can we click these things? We cannot. I'm surprised we were ever able to click these things. You know what? I was complaining about them being very touchy. We also have something else going on here. These things shouldn't be visible. Okay, so let's think about this. What we need to do is put this hero button needs to be underneath these other things. I think, oh, but it can't be. What if we put it up here? I think this stuff needs to sit on top. The problem is this hero name, now it's going to be stopping unless we tell it for the hero name, we have it set to ignore. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there's something else going wrong here. I don't think was there these two? I don't remember what these ones are doing. Train, muster. Yeah, we have something else. When I took that thing away, it broke something else. And now clicking on this does nothing. And so this, because it's below these other things. Like I said, we're going to be fucking with this forever. But like these other things, let's turn one of these on, see. That's just one little square, though. That's actually what we want it to work, how we want it to work. So we could make it instead, we can make it just work with this little part. That might be the easiest way to do it. Or we could make it how I want it to work. But I feel like this is, see, this is the problem, is this thing. Propagate up, what the fuck does that mean? So with this V box, I think if we set it to ignore, what is it gonna do? What is this other H box? All right, let's do this. I don't know if it affects its children. Okay, so that works. So these ones don't work though. So what it's, this V box is, so this is, there's another box right here. We can't see it obviously, and then there's another box right here. But that works. If we ignore there, so then this box also, what do your mouse set is to ignore? What are you set to? Propagate up. So my question is, if I set this to ignore, what happens to the buttons that are its children? We don't want them to ignore. Okay, so if you do, you can click, but that probably means, so that does, how do we want this to work? So the thing that is making this a little strange. So a couple of weekends ago when I was doing this, I was finding that you had to be very perfectly clicked on this. But I'm thinking now, like I was saying, I was once again complaining. I love to complain. I was like, man, you got to really be clicked on here. But I think it was actually that box was covering up half of this, part of this. And so if you click on here, though, it works great. And before it was you had to be on just perfectly on the checkbox. So I think this works good, but then it's weird if you like misclick a tiny bit, it opens this. I kind of think that that's the way it should be, though. Because you're fucking around with your guy, you're clicking around, and you go, okay, Ralph, I want to see Ralph, and you click there. You want it to like kind of, you want to have like a gap. Yeah. We'll just do it that. I don't need to explain everything I fucking do. I mean, I guess I do. And we'll ignore this, and then we'll see this. Because these things are going to be turned on and off. Something broke here. Maybe I just turned that on. All right, so that's going to work. The spawn checkbox, so we got to figure out why it's showing these two. It should only show one. The only change we've done is this one. This is an OR. So if this is going to check if player faction, this method is so it's true. If it's in the, it's gonna. It's not gonna do this at all. It's gonna go down to this where I've been fucking with this, and then I have. Is this not saved? This isn't saved. This continue might throw things off, but if it's an army, Okay, so this is gonna fuck shit up. So then we probably need to continue down here. But what is this other stuff? Hero list is disabled. Hero list button is the thing that I just messed with. Hero list button should be true. Disabled, false. Actually, that's what we want. But we're continuing from here, so it's not going to get to that thing there. This is a dumb name. This is a bad name. Hero list button. So that should be true. We want to hide these things because we're not allowing the player to do these things. So this is going to check if the location, I'm going to put a note in. This checks if the location of the hero is not in a, if the hero is in a non-player owned county. What? Is in a non-player owned county, I guess. That's just that look. I don't know. So this is gonna check if this checks if the hero is player owned. So if the hero is is not. So if this is not player owned, it does this. This is if the location is in. So it's skipping it. So if this is true, it is. If it is player owned, it's going to do this. No, this is all wrong. God damn it. If this is not player owned, it does all this stuff. So that's one type of, like, there's another hero. Like, there's another hero over here. This is not player owned, so it just does that. That's what we want. And that's what this does. Then it's going to check if it's player owned and if it's player owned and its location though is false. So it's player owned and its location is false. So it's in some other location. It does this part. Zin, how's it going? Then, so we have continue in here. So we'll go to the next loop. So it's going to skip all this other stuff. This is only for the player tokens. Well, why the fuck is it down here? Why? Past Josh is just winging it. Just winging it. I wasn't sure if I should put the P at the end of your name. And I was like, what did I call him before? Zimp? I'll probably say the same thing every time. All right, let's see here. So we still have this weird thing happening. Did I turn this on to look at it? I don't think I did. But then let's look at this guy. This is right. Whoops. Let's spawn this guy. Let's move him up here. Let's move the map so we can see this. Let's click on here. Okay, so that actually works. That works. What about this thing? That still doesn't work. So this is how this should be, but I broke something down here. Because it shouldn't be showing both of these. I'm still like yesterday when I was done with my stream weight, and I was like, Wait, did we just finish what we wanted to do? I'm still feeling it today, like there's something. So this should not be showing this bottom one. So for Rose Ross, what an unfortunate name. For Rose Ross, they're also, I noticed these aren't getting translated. These are. That's not important right now. That should be. I have a feeling this, like where this is disabling this for all, or setting this true always. I think we needed a similar thing where we hide these always. Because I think all it is I clicked. I just turned this on. Whoa, that doesn't look right. Let's see what happens if I do that. Because it reinstantiates these little things every time. Yeah, see, so that's what it was, is I must have turned this on to look at it. And so to avoid that in the future, what we can do here is we can just and I'm surprised this isn't already in here, honestly. We just set this, and then we'll make this like a method that's called hide everything or something. Default values or something. Now let's just make sure this works. I'm getting excited for the exploration. That's what all this, everything has been building up for this exploration, and I hope it's not dog shit. All right, so that works. Let's move you over to here. I work with somebody whose last name was Adolf. They don't work with me anymore, but I felt bad for him from the day I set up their account. All right, we can't click on these guys. There's no one there. So that's what we want. We can click on this. So that solves what... So then we can do our test. The whole point of this was so that we could do our test, which we already tested earlier, but you can click on this and you can see that they're getting this from... We're taking the supplies from the enemy faction, which we can't. We shouldn't be able to. So that was for that. Let's make this, we'll say default set default UI stuff. I want to put stuff in there, but I'm not going to. And then we'll just cut this and we'll put this down here. One day I'll know how to do this. I kind of feel like me always saying, "Oh, I'm a noob, I don't know what I'm doing," is kind of a cop-out lately. Because there's like there's a point where you can't use that as an excuse. You know what I mean? Like there's a point where that doesn't fly anymore. Like how long? Like I've been. Let's say that I always say I'm going to be done in 5 years. So 5 years from now, I'm going to be saying, "Oh, I didn't know that. I'm a noob." Like what? There's got to be a point where I'm just like, "Oh, I'm ignorant." That should be my new. Ignorant though has its own connotations of much worse than what it should be, because you should like if you don't know something, and you're like, "Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks for I'm learning." I've learned something new. That should be a good thing. It should be, what the fuck is this thing? This is a hero panel container. It should be something that's celebrated. The fact that you are wanting to learn something, but it's not. It's, what do you want? You want to be set? You want to be static? I can do that. It's not. It's like, oh, you didn't know that? Well, you're fucking dumbass. And so but it's acceptable to be like, oh, I'm a noob. Language is so interesting. How everything's got 17 meanings. Man, I'm the worst with emojis too. I don't know what any of the emojis mean anymore. They've all changed over years. Like the thumbs up to me still to me seems like an insult. And then I read that for young people it is an insult, but this young coworker gives me the thumbs up all the time, and either she's telling me to fuck off all the time or it's not an insult. All right, so here we go. This is working. I'm just double checking. They're not an army. Oh, we should probably test if they are an army and see if this works. And then we got our army stuff there, so that works. Can we still click on you? We can. So that's all working, except what happened to the thing here? Oh, he's not spawned. So then Robert Price here is spawned. We still can't click on this. I think there was a reason why I did that. But it's kind of dumb. Whatever reason I had, it was dumb. Because so we got Robert Price here, right? The whole point of doing this is so then Robert Price moves over to here, let's say. And then we're clicked on here still. I can't look at Robert Price. I have no way to look at him. I can click on but let's say I don't know where he is, or I'm planning my war that's way the fuck over here, and Robert Price is over here. I got to go click on the county to look at him. There's probably a reason why I didn't do that. Maybe I just didn't want to do it at the time, but we need to probably fix that. It can't be that fucking hard, right? Famous last words here. Okay, so let's fix that. Where is that thing? That thing is under the county info panel, but it's special. Fake checkbox. It's this thing. Oh, we can't see it though unless I open up the other thing. Oh, this is all contained in this same code. I wonder if the population data is hero spawn is needed anymore. The end found in the signal is equivalent to the enum in the case. Hero activity, assign buildings. Hero list button. All right, we're gonna have to look at this. I was hoping I could do it with it invisible, but it doesn't look like this is the case. Here we go. So it's this little thing. This looks like it has a hero button. There's a signal attached too. It looks like it's supposed to do something. I don't want to. I wish this gave you more information. Like those dots, that's fucking useless to me. It's going to something called. Oh, look, it's on button up, too. That's what I used to do. I put it on press now. Hero button. But what script, man? What script? Tell me what script. Node has 3 connections. What script, my friend? I'm gonna guess it's in this script. Hero button or hero panel control. I guess we could just search for it. It was called hero button. It can't find it. It doesn't exist. but edit, go to method. Go to method. It doesn't give you an error. That's strange. This must have worked at some point. So what we want, let's just fix it. I mean, what we want it to do is to go to the, there's got to be a hero button on press. It's probably this right here. Are we passing anything in? It doesn't look like it. Population description control dot visibility equals true. How would that work? All right, I'm not going to look at that because otherwise I'll want to fix it. I'm going to need to put that in quotes. Fix it because then it's, yeah. All right, but what we need to do is we need to what is this in hero panel container? Hero panel container. We need to fix this. We'll just disconnect that one and we'll connect, go to source, pick, I don't know why I copied it. Probably I renamed that and that broke and I never noticed. And then I was like, oh, I never did that. Oh, we're going to get errors here though. I need to close that stuff down. That should be getting turned on by itself. Or not by itself, but it should be getting generated. I got a spray bottle, spray my cat when he's freaking out because he's been crying so much. I can't take it anymore. Drive me insane. All right, so that didn't bring this up because we need to do that. There he is. We can click on this now. We can continue to click on this. Let's make sure we got the right guy, Brian Butler. Brian Butler, again, we're doing it. Like everything's working perfectly today. I mean, everything we change seems to work perfectly. That's weird. All right, so that's wrong. It looks done, but needs more testing. All right, I guess we didn't do any of this. We had to fix something to do. All right, but everything's fixed now, sort of. Let's move Brian Butler somewhere else, though. Just test this again. We can still click on Brian Butler. All right. Yeah, I guess that I renamed something and that signal broke. That was all that happened. Easy enough. So now when we've tested that doesn't work, or that it's working incorrectly. So what we want to do then is there's two things. We are checking at 4 a.m. Equip each hero. What's this right here? Heroes in county list. What? Oh, interesting. Wait. This shouldn't be equipping. Maybe it doesn't. Let me do something. So we gotta make sure that this is all on none. We want to not click that. We want to do this. We want to go here. Let's actually send him here. I don't think he can get here. Does it say his location somewhere? It doesn't. This is quite ugly. The whole thing's quite ugly. I think we set it so that if he's moving, though, he shouldn't get anything. Okay, so that's true. So now he's in this other thing, and I think what's going to happen. So it's trying to equip people heroes in county list or whatever it's called. This guy shouldn't be in that list. He should actually be in this. I think I just found a bug. Another bug. He should be in this list, this visitors list. Which is, so it's not even checking that. What was the bug I just saw? It was, I guess I wasn't clicked on here. So I don't know if it was a bug. We'll just pretend like I didn't see it. We can deal with it later. So then we need to wait until it's 4 a.m. again. There we go. And he did not get it. So, okay, so that part's working. The part that isn't working is when we check that box. When we check that box, we need to say, hey, is he in their own county or not? So that's in the population description panel, wherever that is. We don't need this open. We don't need the controls open. We might need that open. Population, day, work, banker. Doesn't look like we have inventory V box. Oh yeah, we had to fix that thing why it wasn't translating. Where was that? That was on these things. There should be a tooltip. Word muster. It's better just to fix them right away, right? It takes longer to make an issue. That's my theory, at least. Where is this? Word muster. Word muster. Where the hell's my localization? Oh, we got to do it differently. All that for nothing. Localization. Do I not have word muster in here? You know, I had to roll back, or not, I accidentally rolled to the wrong thing. I wonder if this was a byproduct of that. Let's sort this. Word. Yeah, we're missing. So this must have been a byproduct of that one thing. So we're missing words here, not here. We're missing some words here. Word. Oh, I sorted the top thing. But we know that, God damn you, that is my most hated Excel feature. Word muster. Muster. We needed word train. Train. We need, I don't remember which, there was another one that was missing. Save this. It seems like with the sort thing, you could skip the header. There probably is. Here we go. There's the button I was looking for earlier. Column A. All right. Word muster. We now have word train. Train. Right there. I guess we need to put this in here. Train. Translate. I have my shit over the top of chat there. And then muster. I'm sure somebody who speaks Spanish is like horrified at this. Probably how badly this is translated. One day they'll have a good translation, but it's going to be 20 years or something. Next, we need to do explore. E. Nope. Word explore. I don't even have text in there. That one doesn't even have a tooltip. Oh wait, yeah, it does. There was one. Excuse me. There was one that was just like in English, just sitting, like just not just like sitting there without a tooltip even existing. Like, no, sorry, not without a word research. We have that one. Word work. Do we have that? We do not. Word work. So if I had a boss, you know, that Trabajar or something, Trabajo, oh man. If I had a boss and they were telling me to, you know, work on, you need to work on hero inventory so that we're ready for the next part. And then I started doing this sidetrack stuff. He would be like, what the fuck are you doing? Why didn't you get any work done? Build. You know, because you know, I'm doing stuff that's not in the scope of what I should have been doing today. Word scavenge. And I would be surprised if we don't have scavenged, and we don't, which is crazy. I've never used word scavenge. Oh, this is not one word. All right. So now we fixed all that weird shit. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to get all this stuff done. And we can actually turn this back on. You're supposed to get all this stuff done in this scope. Like, hey, today you're going to work on exploration, you know, or whatever, hero inventory. You need to get that stuff, the hero inventory done. I am working on the hero inventory, but instead I've, you know, fixed these things. And it seems like, what? That has nothing to do with the hero inventory. Why are you clicking on that? Why are you working on that? It would be, you know, then we can delete this H box now. I hope, because I just deleted it. All right, so we close this thing. Why are you working on localization, man? That's someone else's job. There we go. All right, let's run this again. Yeah, I sent some emojis back to this, the English thing. The emoji that you just Zimph that you just posted made me think about this. Sent some emojis to my coworker, and then I was like, did I use those right? I was worried that this wouldn't work. The disabled ones wouldn't show the tooltips. But there we go. That's all fixed. Now what the fuck were we doing? All right, they can't take stuff. All right, this is perfect time for a break. But we don't need iPersonality. I'm gonna put this up. So we are in here. This is where populate equipment. That's right, but what we need to newest equipment checkbox pressed. This is what we need to do. We need to set some of it in here. Like it will still, you can still tell it, use the newest equipment, but it shouldn't populate the equipment until they're in a different county. The thing is though, this will definitely 100% be changed. Back to me doing the loops thing I was talking about earlier. We're going to change it, and the armies are going to be carrying a small amount of supply at the beginning. Like they'll be carrying whatever, 10, we'll say, you know, double of whatever that they have, and then you'll be able to add to that and make a bigger supply train, and then they'll move slower or whatever. But right now it's just very simple. When we get back around, we'll expand on that. But right now, it's just they won't get anything. But I'm going to take a quick break. Let me throw up my break timer, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I'm back. Man, once again, time flies sometimes when I'm on a break. It literally felt like 2 seconds. I don't want to hear this song that you guys can't hear. Skip that. All right. So, we just need these two. We need to set this for the next time because you should be able to mess with that. But we just need to do that thing where we have the, where was that thing? It's a global. check if player faction. This is the location though. So we're gonna go population data, locate, how did we do that before? We want this exact thing here. I guess I could have just taken this whole line. We want this whole thing. If where am I pulling this from? This must have been up at the top somewhere. Location county data here. Look, I wrote a thing for that too. Little method for that. So if this is false, we do this stuff. Wonder why I set that to false instead of is true. Check if this is true, then we do that stuff. So if the location is the player faction, then we update this stuff. So let's check that. Test this again. Got to test everything all the time. It's gonna be, we're definitely gonna, so part of the save, why I want to get to the saving part is because we're gonna have to start testing things that are farther along in the game, and it's gonna, like right now it's simple, you know, you just restart the game, but eventually it's not gonna be that way. So now we need to go over to here, and we're gonna need to like load a save game every time, which will kind of be painful. Then we click this, and then nothing should happen, which nothing is happening. Let's send him back home. Speed this up some, I guess. And then, hey, we could do it from here. And then it is. So we need to test one more thing, though. We could turn, no, we need to test this. We can do it this way. We go to here. We go to here, we uncheck this. It didn't update their equipment, which is what we want. And then we go back to here, and it's still the old equipment. And then 4 a.m. should roll around, and now it has the other equipment. All right, so that is all working. So I think we've tested. We did this. This is what we just did. Go away. Looks done, but needs more testing. We just did a bunch of testing on this, so this is done. Remove remove resources from county to hall master. Fix top bar updating. I already forgot what that meant. Oh, I know what that means. All right, so remove resources from county. So this is the thing. Here we can just remove resource. We don't want this though. We want this one, but not this one. Remove from available county totals. What the fuck is this one? From available. What does this one do? We're passing in. We're passing in. Remove resources from available county totals. I see what this one does. I'm going to put a summary. This removes resources from county scavengeable goods. This removes goods from county scavengeable goods. Remove goods from available county totals. Lord Mac, how's it going? This is a resource type. This should be a good type. We're running. This is going to be a never-ending issue. Good type. There we go. So that's something that we don't need to fuck with. Use the resource. Remove resource from county is the one we're going to update. And we'll put like a negative on this. Remove resource from county. And this was the fix the top bar thing. All right, so this is the one. So adjust county good amount is what we're going to change. Is update the top bar if it has if the player has the county selected. So this is going to update because we've taken something from the top bar. We need to update it. So we need to basically go to this adjust. This needs to be over here. And we need to do this. Oh, we need a county node, huh? I think we actually have this in county data. And then we need to go back to that remove. Where the fuck was it? That was under county data. This whole thing. So we're subtracting here. I'm going to put this, I just want to compare this. So I'm going to put this over here. And then we're going to go back to the hall master and make sure that this is county data.goods. County resource type. County good type. County good type. When I was having a break, I was thinking about Stellaris. I've been playing so much Stellaris. I just bought a couple of the DLC. Just fuck, who cares, right? And it's pretty. So one of the things with Stellaris that I'm impressed with is one is how well it runs compared to other Paradox games. And I haven't gotten that far into it because I keep restarting. I go, oh, this is fun, and then I restart. Or I go, oh, I made a huge mistake. I didn't know that that's how that mechanic works, and then I restart. So I'm impressed by the early game optimization. But the other thing I'm impressed by is how different each start is. Like this particular start, I've just been getting blasted with like special projects, just all the time, special projects. And like everyone I run into is like, I'm friends with some like machine group and whatever. And other times I've started out, you know, I'm worried about a different resource or, you know, I'm expanding really fast, but I'm weak militarily, you know, or in this particular group, I'm like, have a lot of technology is going on. Like I'm much farther along technology wise compared to other people, I think. And, you know, when I say people, I mean the AI stuff. And it's, you know, you get different planets. Sometimes it feels like you get a bunch of planets. I mean, there must be some built in, you know, you always get one other planet to colonize, etc., etc. But I find that that's it's pretty cool that each start is so different. And I was actually like thinking while I was playing it, like, I really need to make it in my game so that there is like a lot of difference in starts. So Dominions, with Dominions, like your start, you kind of do the same thing and you have the same, even though you're surrounded by random stuff, there is like some difference and you're kind of like relying on some random events and stuff. And if the different factions run very, very differently in Dominions, but it does kind of feel like the same thing. And once again, Stellaris, it is different factions that I'm playing every time. So that is part of the difference. But also the randomness of the map really makes the difference. And I think that that's going to be some sort of, like, that's going to have to definitely be built into this game. Like, you can't play the game multiple times if it's pretty much the same start every time. And, like, if you think about, like, Crusader Kings, you're picking a different faction, but you're also in a different part of the world, so that, like, the things should be much different. Even though Crusader Kings 3, it's pretty much the same. I picked a clan last time I played because I was curious how the clans operate, and it was the same. it was the same. Nothing really changed. So we're passing in the county good type here, which is what we need, but we also need a county data, which we have with the population data. I think has a county data. Oh, I would be wrong. We don't have a county data there. So we need to get people using resources. I think where this is, occasional needs, we can just pass this in. Oh, it's in county data. I don't. Oh, you got CK3. What do you think? I don't want to do a map generator with different size provinces, but it's going to do randomly generated factions, and I'm hoping that it won't be like, so comparing it to Minions, where it's the same thing. You have randomly generated independent factions. So I think that's part of the thing. In Dominions, you have like the difference, and I guess Civ, does Civ have that? I don't think it does actually anymore. But in Dominions, you have these independent factions. That's what they're called, or at least I call them, where they're just there for you to kill. That's their whole existence. They don't expand or anything. In mine and in like CK3, those little guys will try to expand, and so I'm hoping that will help. So it looks like we have to pass this in here. So occasional needs, we need to pass in this. This will go to possible resource uses. We need a county data. I think I do have the attorney. And have you tried like a independent, like a adventurer start? And then we do a county data down here. What are you doing? County data. We get rid of this thing. I like the adventure start, but it is pretty easy. I've never settled down as an adventurer in CK3. Maybe I should try it. There does seem to be like some sort of balance stuff that needs to happen to it. But I haven't played it in a while. They keep talking on Reddit, whoops, that CK3 next DLC. They keep talking about the Mongols, like that's coming, but I don't know if that's true. No, that's an old one. So the Mongols were one of my favorite people to play in CK2. They were like fun. They had different mechanics. You had to make sure you're making your clan people happy. You had revolutions. You could just like map paint, to your heart's content. All that stuff was great. So this is use a resource. Use good. which is why this is negative. So that seems to be, we've removed that thing. I guess we should run it. We're like knocking all sorts of shit out of here today. Have you tried out the Game of Thrones mod? That one's very impressive. So what was this? Where was this? Use possible resources, or does it have to run? It's gonna kind of be hard to tell. We can fix this motherfucker too. Motherfucker, was that one word? Yeah, we can comment this out. Just played the guys there, like in Somalia, the clan guys in Somalia. That was kind of fun, but like I said, I was surprised how similar like the clans just play. They just have some special thing that you just click on and they're all good. They're all like, they all like love you. You click on like organized clan or something. Let's see here. I would like Victoria 3 to play well. I would really like Victoria 3 to play well. All right, we're done with that. To work good. To work good-ish. Oh, what we were testing actually for that update thing was that these update while you're... Let's run this. So this should change at some point at 4 a.m. or something. It's gonna be hard. We have to go back to 1 speed here. Like right after 4 a.m. I didn't see anything change. So if we click on this again, we click away and we click back. I don't know what I'm looking for though. So what would have changed with that player? We were going to use resources. Which resources were we using? Oh, we were taking stuff out of the... So he's set on primitive scouting equipment and fish. So how many fishies do we have? That's 64. Food is 189. Is that right? Single Wings, how's it going? 33 plus 31 plus 125 is 189. 189 is correct. And that would only happen on the first day. We're just going to assume that's working. Let somebody else do it. I mean, it's got to be right. So we fix this. This is done. So what's next? We did do too much already. We've already done too much. We accomplished more than I wanted. No, all right. So let's push this thing to our thing, and then we'll put it in main and all that. We'll merge and all that. But let's see here. What did we do just now? We fixed hero activity visibility, or hero visibilities in enemy counties. So let's commit this, and we're gonna push this. We're gonna double check that I don't see any bugs down here. Looks good. Is this done? Did you do it? Yes. All right, so then we're gonna go to our get here, and we're going to manage our branches. we're going to delete this one. I don't know why it's still here. And we're going to delete this one because we don't need it anymore. I noticed earlier that on the remote thing we have 4. Then we're going to merge hero inventory into main. Whoops, we got to click it correctly though. Double clicking's hard. Then we're going to merge into main. 911 files. Merge completed with conflicts in the repository. Resolve the conflicts. I had a feeling this was going to happen. So when I click this, are these the conflicts? No, let's close this stuff. Oh my God. Yep, it's because I had that open. Can we do it again? It says 90 merge, resolve the conflicts. Are these our conflicts? It's because I had that goddamn thing open. And this, we're going to do this next. We're going to make it so that this .godot file does not upload it. It's causes so many fucking issues, man. See, look, this whole thing is, who knows, you know? Okay, so let's go back to this one. Uncommitted changes will be available after the bring the changes. No. See, this whole thing. Let's revert these. Bumblebee, how's it going? I did shave. I should have shaved my head too, but I was being lazy. I need to buy new clippers, and I fucking forgot again. I feel like clippers are disposable. They're not supposed to be, and I try to take care of them. I bought better ones this time, and I tried to take care of them so much, and they're already all fucked up. So what the hell is going on here? I don't think I need any of this stuff. We're gonna just hope here. This is all under the .godot. Get them out of here. The fuck is this? Get it out of here. It doesn't have the revert thing. Can we go back to this other branch now? Cannot switch because there are uncommitted changes. Commit or undo your changes. I tried to undo them. Yeah, the clipper thing's been a thing for my whole life, that because I shave with clippers, that I've always, you know, they've always been, I felt like they were disposable, and this last time I spent extra money because I wanted, you know, it's expensive being poor thing, where if you buy garbage, you got to throw it away. And I tried to, I guess these expensive ones lasted twice as long, but I even switched out, like they come with a different, like a new clipper thing, but now it's like pinching me when I shave, and I just didn't want to deal with the shittiness. So what is this thing? Can I just delete you? Ignore this local item. What about you? Can I ignore this and untrack? No. Unstage. What if I do that? I want to revert you. I want you out of here. Delete it? I don't want to delete the project. What happens if I do delete it though? It's just deleting that file cache thing, I think. All right, so then can we merge this into main? We're in the right thing. We gotta do this. Merge into main. see, like, so, oh, no, we're ready to commit. But this sure doesn't seem like everything. What's the date on this? 3/9. That's right. Hero inventory. First round. We're going to commit. A Braun. Phillips. Close shave Remington. It's hard to know what's good. Yeah, it is. And I asked actually somebody I know that is unable to push to the remote because your local branch is behind the remote branch. Something's all fucked up here. Push then pull. It's doing like a freak out. All right, let's see now. So I asked one of my friends who is like owns a hairdressing shop. Is that what that shit's called? I said, "What do you guys use? You guys can't be throwing away fucking clippers all the time." And she's recommending this type, which I can't. Classic 76. Here, see, here's me Googling the problem. The blade is too sharp all of a sudden, which is crazy. Classic 76 clippers. So she recommended these. And so I got this. They're pretty expensive. And that's probably what I'll get again. Yeah, but something, I don't know what happens to it. Maybe my hair is made of steel, my facial hair. I don't know. I don't know what the hell. No, it isn't. Like, you mean like I could do it in the shower? Definitely not. I would die. You would immediately die. But yeah, that's what I got, and it lasted for a while. It definitely lasted longer than the old ones I used to get, which I used to get just like the clippers, not the hair clippers, not the shitty. I don't even know what their brand they are, and I still have some as a backup. Those were definitely, they were like $50, like $30 or something. It was something similar to that, but those would only last. You could, no matter how well you treated those, they just fell apart. But I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Let's go to my project and look if this worked. I feel like I fucked something up here, but let's also open up. So we're on main now. This is all push to main. We're sync to main. What is this weird shit? So we fixed the massive fuck up. All right, so let's open up on main. It's gonna probably want to reload stuff, but let's hope, because there was that fuck up that I made 3 minutes ago. This looks good. And then we're going to deal with this .godot folder because it's bullshit. And it's going to make me use I decided this morning, I was like, I cannot push this off anymore. It's problems. It's causing problems. I did go to 4.4 and it started crashing. So it says 4.4 is stable and it's not stable. No, it could be my computer. My computer is absolutely dog shit right now. This thing is. Last night I was trying to play Stellaris, and Malwarebytes was saying it was a virus, which is unrelated to that. But this thing, so many problems. All right, so let's test what we just did to make sure that this all works as expected. We'll go over to here because this is what we just did, and we'll make sure that this merge worked. If we go to here, we click this, perfect, and there we go. So that's good. Main is good. Let's go back to our remote repository. Let's delete these other branches that are just chilling. I'm going to delete this one, and we're going to delete this one, and we'll leave this one because this is the one we just... Yeah, this is from the Godot. The errors that I can't get rid of. There's some bug with Godot. I've decided that's the problem. The problem's Godot. It's not me. It's not me. It's you. Type of thing. Yeah. So we're there. Then let's also push this. We attempted last weekend and the weekend, or in a little bit this weekend, to fix those errors. Me and chat and everyone, people all over the internet. I need to go to this thing. We're going to trash this. Download, install. Right, you know, everyone, there's people like, and I put an issue in on Godot issues. Error. I can't remember what else it says. Can I look for my issues? Where's my issues? Error. What was the rest of the, what does the error say? I got it right here. The error says, wait, that said it might freeze the thing? Script class. Script class. Where's my issue? There's got to be a way to sort by what I did. Lord Haywire. Nope. Always thinks the script got modified out of the... Huh. Error. Here we go. It's right here. So I put this in, and people have been giving me suggestions, and then also in a YouTube comment, someone. So this guy, this is the final suggestion that I've gotten. So it doesn't give you any information here. Like, you can't click on it. It doesn't tell you what script this is. And so this guy's suggestion, which I think he put in last night, was that to make each one of these in their own file, which is absolutely insane. So each dictionary would have to be its own file. And then Casper has been trying to, he's just been messing around with it, trying to fix things. And he said he got it down to like 10 or something by making them their own, by making all of the enums their own files, which is crazy to me also. So my theory at this point is that because it didn't used to happen, is that this is just a Godot error and they need to fix it. That's, so I'm just waiting. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna try, because we know Casper said he got it down to 10 by making these all their own file, even though I did make one its own file and it didn't do anything. It had no effect. But maybe that one wasn't being used in a dictionary or something. But this guy was saying make one of these dictionaries into its own file. So I can try that, just do one of them, you know, obviously not all of them because I have like 20 fucking dictionaries. But I don't think that's a good solution. It's the thing where the way I described it yesterday was, it's that joke where a guy goes into the doctor and says, when I do this, it hurts. And the doctor says, well, don't do that. And I think it's not a solution. There's something else that's going wrong. So yeah, I'm just ignoring these for now. And they're two different ones. But I'm going to do it offline. I'm going to go, because I've spent so much time. I've wasted so much time on this. So, anyways, let's export this, because that's what we do now. This should be done. No. Are you still downloading? Damn, dude. Oh, gig. A gig. How'd your project going, Bumblebite? Or anyone? That last percentage. All right. It is. It said it might freeze, so I'm going to let it. Yeah, it's funny that I was talking also about yesterday. Someone in chat was talking about, like, you know, well, it doesn't matter, but I was talking to my friend, and that's how he always responds to all of my questions. And so I actually stopped asking him questions. And originally, when I would ask him programming questions, he'd be like, "Why are you doing that?" Okay, I think it's dead. Oh no, it was in the background. Did it finish? All right, there we go. So we're gonna export it to this. Let's blow away this folder though. Except for the map. We need the map. And then we're going to export project. Save. So, you know, that is the thing, though, that, like, some people, how do you not use dictionaries? I find them, like, extremely useful. Oh, single week. So you weren't fucking around when you said that you were going to start doing stuff more artistic. You're like setting your shit up. Do they have dictionaries in JavaScript? I assume they do, right? All right, let's see how that. We need our little console up though. I've learned a lot. You know, this is the thing. I have learned a lot with that. That error has taught me some things that I didn't know existed. So that's good. Let's see. That works. Let's spawn you. That works. Let's look at your inventory. You're in your home place. Canned good fishies. Let's let this run to 4 o'clock. And it looks like some people have been equipped and whatnot. So this all looks good. A key value array. Yes. Yeah, that's the thing, is it's so easy to like sort like organize things with dictionaries. I don't know how you would do it without. It seems like, whoa, what was that? There was something orange popped up when I stopped it. It seems like that would be hard to do certain things. Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know, a key value array sounds right. It sounds like the thing. So interestingly enough, I didn't know that dictionaries weren't in an order until someone in chat said, well, these are your choices, a list that's in order or a dictionary that's in unorder. And I was like, what? Oh, you like this? Well, how do you like? I'm trying to think how you would do it. Loop index. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't know how to do it with the things I'm doing without. You'd have to have everything connected together with an index, I guess, with a number. And I hate numbers. Right? So yeah, it sounds like JavaScript it has a different name, but it must do the same thing. But if it's slow, oh, we were talking about that. We were talking about that with the maps and whatnot. Yeah. I forgot about that. Once again, oh wait, I wasn't gonna whine about my shitty memory today. That was a thing I said at the beginning of the stream. Okay, so let's see here. So we have a new release. I gotta do this every time. The new release is version 0.0.6. Create the tag. Target as main. Release title. I think the release title, I have to do this every time too. We're going to look at this one. Yeah, so this title is just that. So back to my enums thing with this dictionary conversation. It would be easier to use lists with enums because the big issue is that I can't remember like what's number 3 in the list of activities. You know, like I have a list of I'm just picking something at random. My list of activities. You know, here we can visualize this. Here, my list of terrain. I can't remember what number 3 is. Well, I guess it's number 2. So on a list, I have a hard time like figuring out what that is, and if I have to type in, you know, so yeah, so that's why I use so many enums, and maybe that's just how it is, and I'm overthinking it. But if you need a dictionary of stuff, you'd have to have more enums. Is that how it's like? And you're not going to use dictionaries. Is that how you do it with just more enums? I love enums, so. That would be I would be pro that. I can remember back to when I didn't know what an enum was. All right, back to this thing. Create a new release. No, we need a tag. V0.0.6. Create the new tag. And then the new title, though, I think I was just doing the same thing. Oh, look, no, I wasn't. I was going 2D, 4X, V 0.0.6. And then heroes now. What else did we do? This is all we did. I'll show you why I'm using them in a second here. Really, all we did was I feel like we accomplished more, but now equip 5 different equipment types. Though there aren't that many equipment types. That many goods. All right. And then there's some checkbox. This button. No, what is this? This is ancient. That's not in there. Then we need to compress this. Oh, we got to delete the old one. And then we want to send to compressed file. I wonder why it put that other stuff in there. The top bar Hero activities. Lord Haywire made their first contribution. What? I always I I always click this generate release notes. Top bar. Look at this thing too. It says it pull 26, and then this one we're actually on pull 700. What a strange, I don't know if I normally look at that. Target main. I don't know. That's weird. That's it might be like it's pulling it from some weird top bar. Hero activities. Let's bail out of this real quick. 20 minutes ago. 21 minutes ago. Like, this is literally what I typed in there. I wonder if it's this .Godot fucking thing is throwing off its... But there was that weird merge issue. But we just tested it. We ran, and all the changes that I just did were there. And I was on main, right? Just to make sure. Yeah, I'm on main. Look at all that dog shit. Huh, I need to probably do something about that. Tags. I didn't know you could do the tags on here. Yeah, this is like a month ago? Maybe when I'm merging something, it's... Huh. What does it say? Let's do this. What does this one say? Nine commits to main since this release. I don't know. Another thing that I got to learn here. Let's try this again. Let's go back to our thing here. It's create new release. New tag. 0.0.6. Let's have it generate. Yeah, this shit's fucking ancient. I wonder if it's always been saying weird shit and I just delete it and I wasn't really paying attention to it. Let's delete that. Because this camera rewrite thing is really old. Hero activities. Did I not push it to main? No, we just looked at it in hero activities in top bar. This is all... Whatever this is, clear existing notes to automatically add the markdown for all the merged pull requests from this different contributors of this release. This is all wrong. We'll just leave this. Maybe it's always done that and I just immediately deleted it and moved on. We'll drop these binaries in here. And this is going to be pre-release. And we wait patiently. It's almost, you know what I just did? It almost seemed like I was running down the time so I could take a break. We're gonna publish this release. Oh, what did I call it? I didn't call it anything. Compare. Gave up on fixing all my problems. Added taking and giving equipment to counties. Fixed hero visibility. So this is the right thing. And yeah, and this was like right after, yeah. So this is the changes. You know what I think what happens too is when I've tried to type in that 2D4X with the version behind it, and it tells me like over here. I don't think I can. I don't think it lets me. But we're probably whatever. We're good enough. We're good enough. We're since I'm doing this all the time. We didn't want to delete this other tag though. Since what is your verified thing? Verified by what? Since we got to delete the tag first though. You got to go in here. Oh look, this one has the 2D4X. Let's do this one more time. Edit release. 2D4X. Update release. There we go. There we go. We're cooking with gas now. We're gonna go to this tag. This one is not verified. I wonder when this became verified. We're gonna delete you. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just a bug or something. Tags, then we can go back and we can delete this one. Let's look at it. 3 minutes ago, we added that. Yeah, I don't know when that verified thing appeared. Anyways, I'm gonna take a quick break and we'll leave this sitting here. Whoops. I clicked a button on OBS. Skip alert. Let's hope that it doesn't do something strange. Let's put this thing back up. My break timer. And I'm gonna pause my music and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. And then we'll look at the thing, the dictionaries. All right, I'll be right back. All right, there we go. That's up, ready to be tested by somebody. I don't know. I don't expect anyone to actually test it, but it's there, and it shows some progress is being done. I bet you that thing was fucked up. I was thinking about this outside because I did that merge thing that I messed up. But we're good with that part. Now we're going to, we'll look at this first. So there's, in one of the dictionaries I was thinking about, I was like, oh, I totally could have just used a list for that. But the dictionaries that I'm using, I gotta remember where they are. They're probably, they're in these things. No, they aren't. They're in my resources. Let's go to my resources here. My Godot resources, that is. Not there. Counties? Those are all the lists. Those are all lists. Oh, and county improvements is where I'm using them, I think. So here's one dictionary that is output goods. So this is this one's where in storage. That's not a good example. So output goods is a dictionary of the good data, which I guess it could be an enum. And then inside the thing, so there's so I can pull from I can get the information from the key and the value is basically what's going on there. Oh, it says resource type. Oh, I guess that needs to be renamed as well. Jesus Christ, everything. Output goods is one of them where I'm using a dictionary. And so the reason why I wanted to use a dictionary is so it's easy for the developer, you know, me or anyone who wants to adjust the game to drag things into here. Oh, that was the problem. Whoops. Oh, I still have my break timer up. That was the problem. I remember now the problem. Why I originally was going to use enums and it wouldn't let me. Sorry, it's not that it wouldn't let me. I wonder if I can do a quick test. Here, I'll show you the problem. And I was going to use enums. We'll put it right at the top here. Export. Public. Actually, it doesn't matter, but public Godot collections array. Array. We'll do all enums dot activities. What was the other one we were just looking at? Terrain. And then comma int, whatever. You know, it doesn't matter. Whatever dictionary. Blurb. What's your problem? This non-generic type. How do I do these? I gotta copy another one. I have something weird going on. I don't think I have any dictionaries here. So that's the main. I wanted it to be in here. I wanted that's like one of the main things was to make it ease of use for adding and removing shit later in the inspector. Because I found it was funky to do it with code. Extremely funky. But you know what's funny is that it was funky to do it with code because I was doing it wrong. So now I know how to do it an easier way with code. Because of the population. So this is one of the things that I often comment on, that my mistakes, that's when I'm actually learning something. Trying to get rid of the constructor for population data made a bunch of other shit like click in my brain. But let me finish looking at this thing and I'll show you what where am I? I went too far. We got to go to County improvement data. This is the main one. Um, why is this thing? See, this one works. This should work. Oh, I put array. That's the problem. Dictionary. There we go. That's all. All right. So we have this dumb fake dictionary, right? That we're going to use. So this is, I'm going to be all of these things with export on them, not all of them, but most of them have export in front of them for the resource saver. But I'm actually wondering if that's going to be, I'm just not going to be able to use the resource saver, because so the resource saver would allow me to save these resources to disk, but they have to have export in front of them, I guess, for serialization. I don't know. Let's go back to globals here. Globals. So this is oh my God, it's a word now. So they've fixed this. So for a while, when you put it in enum, it wasn't a word. It wasn't the word. And so I was like, that's fucking useless. But it looks like they fixed it since then. So all of these things, all of these dictionaries that aren't enums, is because I was using a workaround, because it was just showing the number of the enum. So we see how this says int and int. Before, these were just ints. And I was like, well, that makes it pointless. But it looks like they've updated it, probably with 4.4 since that. See, so now I can go back and adjust all those things, because it's actually kind of a pain. So this is a thing I also learned recently, which is obvious, but I just didn't think about it. Back to this county improvement data. See, if this had worked originally, Jesus Christ. We got to go up here. County improvement data. Let's go back to the Fisher shed here. So this dictionary, this good data, is not the same. So I make a copy of this. This is a copy of it, because I need a copy of it. But this good data, which is fish.tres, does not match this one, because I made a copy of it, right? So I can't compare them. You follow me? Like, because they're different. They have and that makes sense. Like, it makes sense that they're different, because I made a copy of it where I wanted it to be different. I want them to be different, but I can't compare them. So if I had been able to do an enum, which it looks like now I can. Anyways, the whole point was because, and I was going to see how dumb this is, but now they've fixed it. But at the time, it was dumb, and you couldn't pick this. It would just show the ints of it, and that ruined the whole purpose of it. But it looks like they fixed it. So I probably could go back and fix these now. But then back to your thing of making it a list. So lists are faster, you're saying, and they're organized. Because I still for each them. I for each my dictionaries all the time. Reference equals. What do you mean? What do you mean? But yeah, definitely. Tell me what, because I'm always wanting to, like, improve. So let's say it was this exact thing, because this is a simple example. You know, well, no, let's use. Let's go back to the Fisher shed. So what we need in this Fisher shed is the output good. So all we're trying to look at is a list of production data. So this is, and it's, in this particular case, it's fish. See, so how would you get that? Like, we could replace this with an enum in this particular case, but. Okay, so you're reading all this from stuff from disk. Oh, and you can update it at runtime. So is that affect? This sounds like off topic, but it's not. Modding. People can go into that information and edit that if they wanted to mod your game. The XML resource. When you say XML resource, I'm assuming that's just like a text file, right? .xml. You know, it's a text thing. You do a hash check. What the fuck is a hash check? So that's what I hear, like when people are working on, let's say, a CK3 mod or something. They have the game running and they're just editing the text files as it runs. So I could edit this on the disk. Let's bring this over here. I think projects. Let's do this in this copy though. Resources. In detail, I do an SFV check. In detail, I do an on the file compared. Why? What does that do? Pretend like I know nothing. So I wonder if you edited this while the game was running, if it would implode things. I bet you it would. Okay, so when it loads, so later on you can change the file and then it goes, oh, well, there's something's changed, so then it reloads it. I'm gonna close this. What did I change in main? Oh, I made that little thing, but that said 39 minutes ago. Now I'm worried. I'm gonna reopen this real quick. Just make sure that there's nothing imploding here. Then we're gonna open up this other one because I'm curious what happens if you edit a resource while the game's running. Oh wait, this person, Scott Haywire. All right, just making sure. And we're gonna go. So if you do the same with texture atlases, and as an artist, you never need to shut that. So let's say whatever. Well, we're gonna use my game as an example, just because whatever. Let's say you have a new graphic for the Fisher Shed. The artist just drags and drops that new graphic in there while the game's running. Then looks at the Fisher Shack again, and it's like, oh, well, there's a new Fisher. And then they look and they say, oh, this graphic doesn't really work as well as I wanted. So then they do a couple of edits on it, and they drag the new one on top of it. We're gonna run this other thing because I don't want to break my thing. I have a copy of it. It's an older copy, but it doesn't matter. When the game gets focused, when you say gets focused, do you mean like when you're clicking on it from like your different monitor? All right, so I have this. Well, we got to run it, and we got to see. This is going to implode a bunch of shit, I think. I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's currently broken. Can I test this without this? Because this is like oh yeah, I totally annihilated this copy. I forgot about that. Let's close this thing too. Let's delete this copy. Got it. So that's how it. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it had like that term meant something different. Um, than in game design or something. What the fuck? It is not. That's closed. I don't believe you. Visual Studio is like running in the background or something. Cancel. Oh, I have this open. There we go. 2D. Do this again. Then make a copy of this. So then that other guy, there's another guy in chat named Munglo. He was talking about something very similar. I think he was using JSON, though. I think we were talking about... No, he might have been using XML as well for all of his stuff. So if you're editing all these text files... So if you're editing all these text files that are XML... Squib, how's it going? If you're editing all these text files that are XML, are you using Visual Studio or whatever your editor is? We're copying something here. All right, we're gonna break something is what we're gonna do. So I want to be prepared for the brokenness here. We want this one. And then so I'm deep in thought about this whole idea. All right, let's go back to, let's run this. I think this should work, but it is going to be an old version. Or no, we just made a new copy. It's going to be a new version. It's going to be the same version that should work. We're going to open up one of these resources here, County Improvement. This is going to just bust a bunch of shit, though, I think. So we have this county resource here. If we go to our, whoops, not there. If we go to this thing here, so how do you deal? So this is now. So this Fisher's, that was a weird noise I made. This Fisher shed actually isn't the Fisher shed though. That is this Fisher shed, like this one. It's different. I think I'm changing the name of it. We would have to go back. Yeah, I think this is a different one. Like I've made a copy of it. And so how do you deal with that? With like having something that you've made a copy of? Is it saving that copy to disk as well? Like as a text file? So you like in your game folder, you're having all these like text file copies that are saved to disk? Yeah, these are all copies. If I ran this, if I look back over here, I bet you this has changed. Oh, I got some weird flash. I don't think it likes that. I just put some gibberish in the improvement name. Which is here. Yeah, so this gibberish changed. In what sense is this the idea of saving game stat or writing templates? Well, I was trying to figure out like how you're doing with your lists you were talking about. Is so the list would be so if you're editing stuff on the fly, you were talking about like you can edit this file on the fly. How is it how are you editing so I made this gibberish, you know, and it shows up as gibberish here. Um, but how if you're making a list of like these county improvements, like for this page here, it's only would be loading from the initial run of the game, right? So when you're editing something, it wouldn't have any effect on anything that's already been run is what I'm trying to figure out. So since I edited this and this has no effect on this because it's already been run and made copies of crap. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like when you were saying you're editing it while it's running. If I went away over to here, we can't look at that one. Yeah, these are all these make copies at the beginning of the game. Maybe you do it differently where so at the beginning of the game this makes copies, but it can make a copy every time. Because the modding and making changes while it's running is gonna eventually, I think, gonna be important. And I've been thinking like on and off about how modders are gonna affect it for a long time. And so I was just, you know, since it's open source, they can just download the thing. but I wanted to put mod support in there anyways. No audio from me? Awesome. Well, thank you for lurking, Squib. Doing some Tarkov today, hopefully. Well, or Kingdom Come Deliverance. Yeah, so I need to think about how, because both of you got Munglo and you have had these ideas about how you do things. You can parse XML into enums. The dictionary thing, my mind is kind of blown here that they updated that because I literally had so many workarounds because this would only show as a number here. Like so many because then I can also compare them. Well, I mean, so what was happening is I was comparing their names. You know, I'd get like good data, and I would just compare their names because I couldn't compare the good datas. Man, I wonder. So there was a whole like issue with Godot where they were discussing this, and people were like, "No, we're not going to do that." It totally did, and there was an issue about that where they were saying like, "No, we're not gonna have in the inspector enums. We're just gonna continue to show as ints." And I was just like, "What?" And it used to say the same thing too, ints, and then it would just be 2 ints. But now it's showing as the right, exactly. If you don't want it, just have it like a thing in the project settings. Show ints or show enums as ints, or because man, there was a lot of. I was so excited about that originally. Maybe it was like when you go to here. I'm trying to think, like maybe there was some. Oh, right. I gotta have different. They gotta be different. No, this is exactly working how I wanted it to work. Originally. Like this is exactly what I wanted. I mean, we're using terrain, which I don't use currently, Well, I mean, I use it a tiny, tiny bit. It's not used for anything useful, but 25, 1. Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. In fact, I was looking at another one earlier, like last weekend, where I was like, man, it's so dumb that I have to use a good data and then an int. Because a lot of times they're like, some other custom public class or something that they're sorted by. But there's no code reason for you to use for me to be. You mean because like, no, I just want to be able to use it. I want you to be able to adjust it in the inspector. I got to change this song that you guys can't hear. It's awful. Oh, it's TSOL. TSOL is like this old punk band, and they like half their albums are garbage. They're really bad. So, man, well, that changes things. So if it was a list, though, back to the list versus this isn't. You can't connect a list, these two things like in a list, because the index for the first list is going to be 0. The first thing in the list, unless I'm misunderstanding how lists work. Like you can't have the list index be what's coast. Coast is 0. So let's say it's desert. So the desert is 1. You can't tell the list to be a 1 index if there's only one item in the list, right? So then the list would be 0, and you'd have to like write some weird thing to connect. You can just set an index for a list to be whatever. I thought they had to be like 0, 1, 2, 3. Set index on list C#. And then they're in order. Well, can they be in any order then too? Like 3 comes before 2, but you have to add an empty entry. Oh, okay. So if you wanted to have only 3, okay, I get what you're saying. So you would have a list if in this particular case, let's say wherever the fuck we are, if let's say we wanted a list that had just desert in it, we would have 0. We'd have a list of everything, probably. We'd have a list that had all of these, probably, and then we would just put in the index or the int value for whatever would be. They would all be 0s except for desert would be 1, or whatever we wanted to put in there. It seems like you would have a lot of extra list stuff. Like empty lists, it's probably insignificant though. But then what if you're looping through them? You're looping through an extra bunch of stuff. Let's look what the world says about this. I'm just curious. Let's look what ChatGPT says. In C#, are dictionaries lame? No, dictionaries in C# are not lame. They're actually one of the most efficient data structures for key value lookups. They offer, what is that? Oh, average time complexity for retrieving, adding, or removing items, making them excellent for scenarios where fast lookups are needed. What about lists? Aren't lists faster? I just don't design game data where you have spaces. Huh. So that is definitely, so what the fuck is this? A big O complexity. What is this? So that's actually something that I've mentioned this person before. So have a friend who used to do data stuff for Amazon, and she quit her job and like fucking hates that shit. She knows like very very high level data stuff, and I mentioned she's not interested in doing any kind of programming ever again. I don't think. I think it broke her. Uh, but she was the person who wouldn't take the Linux computer. She was just like, no, I don't want that shit, which shocked me because she doesn't have a she might have a computer now, but at the time she didn't have a computer. Uh, but when I was mentioning to her that I was making a game, like her first thing was, you should plan your data structures now. And I was like, probably should, but I'm not going to. So that's something that I've thought about since like for a year now, or a year and a half or something, about like my data structures of really like I'm just throwing shit in there when I need it. I throw it on in there, and then later I'm like, oh, this is dumb, and then I change it and stuff, and it's just not the best. It's yeah. Anyways, so I maybe I need to rethink how I'm doing things. I spend time ordering them when needed, and I'm particular about what goes from the right direction. So I use ordered lists, and I'm reorganizing lists. Was this still gonna work? Like for this stuff, and I was actually thinking I want to make it so you can click on these and it will sort them and whatnot. So there's definitely, and those are all lists though. I don't have dictionaries for those things. This is all a list. This is all lists. It's basically just this. Just ease of adding it in. So I got to think about stuff like that more. And I'm thinking right now about... So then that's like what Stinglewinks is always talking about too, with how he's using YAML because of how it looks. And actually, I think we were talking about this with Joker too, where I think when you export with the native Godot JSON thing, it looks like shit when it comes out. It exports as one big line, and so it's dog shit. Basically, you can't look at it. Well, I was trying to use their built-in resources. Because I feel like if the stuff's built in, and it should work better. And then also their resource saver for that same thing. Are we in the copy? We are in the copy. I'm going to delete this Godot folder because I want to see something as well. I want to see how hellish this is, because that's the next thing. I really want to fix this. This .godot having to be sent to GitHub, tracked by GitHub. Yeah, who was I? So I was reading an article, not an article, a post on Reddit about some guy who had made an MMO database, basically. And there was a lot of discussion about actually reading. Yeah, so does this tell me all of the problems that this causes? He was saying the same thing, that like these days it's better just to write everything to disk. Let's close this Fisher Shed thing. We don't give a fuck about this anymore. See, this is the problem with you guys in chat, is you always make me think about different ways to do stuff. And then I go, oh wait, your idea is better. And then I have like some epiphany 6 months later and go, oh, this is what they were talking about. This would have solved all of my problems if I had done it this way in the first place. All right, so we have only a few of them. I don't want to do the actual changes. There's probably some. Okay, so let's see here. Hero checkbox from node select hero. Breakfast at Epiphanies, right. Select hero panel contain. What is this over here? Oh, because I deleted the .godot thing. Well, that's fine for now. Right now, we don't care about that right now. Hero checkbox. Select hero panel container. This must be a scene. I'd be wrong. Maybe it's a UI scene. Select hero panel container. Select hero panel container. Oh, it probably actually should be up here. Here we go. So I think what happens. All right, I was going to move this over, but I think what happens is, get out of here. Okay, I was wrong. Okay, here's the step. Oh, it's arrays that cause this. Oh, look, I got a different number of errors too. I only got 3 of these errors. Did we just get, well, I didn't play it. It's not gonna play. Did we just come to some, is it the .godot file that's the problem? I don't actually remember what this thing does. Select hero, and then we have hero checkboxes. Okay, so this is this thing. What is this thing? What is this thing? It doesn't have problems with that other thing. Checkbox, hero checkboxes. Where is this thing running? Okay, I know what this is. So this is those little things, the activities that you can check. And so what the problem with this is, so this is the what problem, the reason why I was updating, or I was ignoring the .godot file, is because every time I deleted the .godot file, which is what would happen for somebody if they were downloading my project, they would have, because you know it was get ignored. They would, all of these things would break, which is only actually 5 things. So it's not like it's the end of the world. So what was happening was not anything, these 5 things that I dragged over. So see, I was dragging these things in here. and setting them in the inspector, and without the .godot file, they would break. So that somewhere in the .godot file, it was saving those. The thing that's weird though, these are also missing. Which in this one, it doesn't actually matter. So what I was going to do is I was going to change them to I was going to change it to get child or whatever. Oh, look, this is all fucked up here too. But I think we were able to fix that easily. Yeah, this is busted too. So I think that's the plan for next week, and is to make it so that I can put the .godot back into. It's going to be kind of a pain because we're going to have to do all this stuff, all of these. And it's weird that this one is missing. Well, part of it is because this is turned on. It needs to be hidden. And so does this thing. Wonder why it likes certain stuff and then other stuff it doesn't like. It lets me drag in certain things. This is a button. This is an H box or something. Yeah, this is an H box. See, like, look at all this shit that it just generates every time. Well, I guess it's because I deleted it. We'll definitely have to make sure it's pushed. So the way I would have to do this, though, is like get child. I like to just be able to drag stuff over, but I guess if it's a problem. The only way to test it is to delete the .godot file. I wonder if I should open an issue about this and see if this is intended behavior, if this is just a bug and I'm the only person who currently does this is drag shit over. I wonder, you know what they like is to test. So what is this? This is a button. They like it when you can send them a test file, like a test project. But it's not everything. Test, drag, and drop. Actually, what I want it to be. Are you gonna what? Damn, I need a new folder here. Test, drag, and drop. What is this? Get mobile, edit now. A lot of waiting in this process. I'm going to call it a day in a second here, though. 2D scene. Add. We'll put a H box just because I have everything in fucking H boxes. And then we will add a script. There was. Attach script. Root HBox container. Then we're going to add, well, not that type of script. The fuck out of here. Bumblebite, thank you for dropping by and also for all the deep thoughts that you've made me rethink about a lot of stuff here. And that's good. we want to attach a new script here. Root hbox container. But we want this to be a C# thing. And then we're going to delete this one. Man, yeah, I wonder. Then we're going to add a child of a button. And then add a child of a label. Whoops. But we want this to be here. And then we're going to open this thing up. And we're going to do export. I don't know if they were public, but we needed label. First label. Whoops. Steel Winks, have a good night. Is it already night on your time? Heading to the barn, huh? We need a thing at the end here. This will prep us for tomorrow here. Or not tomorrow. Next weekend. Export label. Gotta type export right. Or no, this is a button. First button. And then I'm going to put an array of something. Export. I guess we'll do buttons. Button array. What do we got down here? And then we're going to save that. We're not going to do a repository. We're going to build this thing. We're going to put this label in here. We're going to put this button in here. We're going to create this thing. We're going to add an element. We're going to put this button in here. We're going to save this to main. We're going to close this thing. We're going to go into here. We're going to delete the get.godot folder. We're going to open this thing up. Test, drag, and drop. It's like, what happened? We did. Okay, so this is an easy way to test this. Is this right here is exactly the problem of our, so I should make an issue and see if this is an issue, if this is intended behavior. So I have a couple of arrays, and that's what's happening, is all of my arrays that I just drag shit over. The reason I have them as arrays is so that I can, like, for each them or whatever, loop through them. And I mean, I can do get child, and I can just put its parent there, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised that that was so easy to test. But now I have a test project for them. We'll save and close. Yeah, I'm going to call it a day here. Let me make sure that we push. Yeah, we don't have anything. We did everything. We put our new thing in here. Let's check our GitHub to make sure that I have my project all set up for next weekend, because I'm not going to forget. I mean, because I am going to forget. Make it so that it can't. All right, so that is then we're going to work on, once we figure that out. Well, I'll open an issue, actually. I'll put a comment on here. I will open an issue with Godot. And then I think I tried to save the website again. Then I think that is it for me today. Thank you guys. I decided not to rate people this weekend. I'm just being antisocial for no apparent reason. But that is it for me. Thank you guys for joining me. Jane, how's it going? And goodbye all at once. Talk to you guys next weekend.